Testing. Mr. Swinney here with Thomas and Friends, Wonders of Sodor.
Jack Frost.
Something's amiss here.
One evening, Sir Topham Hatt came to the sheds. "There's a big freeze coming tonight," he said. "James and
Winter
Percy,
is coming.
I need you to deliver extra coal to the stations." "Yes, sir," they said eagerly, and Sir Topham Hatt walked away. "You better hurry," teased Thomas, "or scary Jack Frost might get you." "Who's Jack Frost?" Percy said nervously.
Depends on who you ask.
"Don't be silly," sniffed James. "Jack Frost is not scary."
At
"Yes,
best,
he
he's
is,"
a goofball.
teased Thomas. "He's all white with a big spiky face."
Thomas is
"Rubbish,"
going with the
said
ranking
James.
bass, Jack Frost.
James knew Jack Frost wasn't scary, but poor Percy wasn't so sure.
Many adjectives can be used to describe Percy. Brave is only sometimes one of them.
Later that night, James had collected his coal trucks and set off to make his deliveries. "Silly Percy," he thought. "All steamed up over Jack Frost. The sooner we get this coal delivered, the sooner I can get back to my nice warm shed."
Oh, for pity's sake, we're doing a night run? Yes, folks, sometimes Jack Frost is just a goofy little, silly little winter sprite. His greatest interest is making children laugh and maybe trying to get a wife. Other times, he's a pretty little weirdo who tries to preserve Christmas from Santa Claus. And other times, he works with Santa to protect the children of the world from pitch black. Probably more there, but I can't think of any beyond maybe that movie where the guy turned into a snowman. Well, at least the lamp is on. It's better than I would.
William, I'm glad not to be out in this weather.
jazz music accompanying me. Here's that jazz now. Remember, folks, if you see Henry with the flying kipper, expect that the worst is already underway. As if you thought he had enough, just having a poor... But exactly, this is a big combo that we're allowed to go. Well, in any case... intermittently taking a freight train of fish and then crash.
We've reached our first stop. Let's drop off some of the coal trucks.
Okay.
That's one delivery complete. So let's head to our next stop.
I'll freely admit I have no idea what's going on. Beyond just coal deliveries, anyway. That I can wrap my head around. And you missed it by that much. Oh, jeez. That Daisy has to deal with. DLC in the near future, I would suggest Toby and or Edward. Maybe Mavis. I like Mavis. I still like Mavis.
Here's our next station. Let's drop off some more coal. That's another delivery complete. Hopefully, all this coal is enough to keep the passengers nice and warm during this cold weather. I'm just glad that I have my firebox to keep me from getting too cold.
That station goes through. Last one. Fourth last one.
I never really understood miles per hour. Then how fast it takes to get somewhere, either go a mile in an hour. Going under the speed limit if the whole point of that exercise was too low. Not too low, if only to avoid a ridiculous derailment. My gosh, these engines just fly all over the place. This game, it's very close to the hit error episodes, I understand it.
We finally reached our last delivery, so let's drop off all the remaining trucks. That's all of the coal delivered. Now I can get back to my nice warm shed. And with that, James puffed back towards Tidmouth Sheds.
You heard the narrator. Chuff back to Tidmouth Sheds, James. I'd help, but... Hey.
Meanwhile, Percy was making his last delivery. Jack Frost is not scary. Jack Frost is not scary. Jack Frost is not scary.
That would depend on what you define as scary. Wouldn't you agree, Percy? Percy's little theme song from the show makes me think of penguins.
I honestly have no idea why that is. That the connection was fairly recent, like a few years ago. I'll be honest, I'm not even sure about that. Lengths the little caterpillar has to go to just to keep ahead. Wary of the troll who lives under the bridge, Percy. Not this bridge, a completely different one. That bridge, that troll bridge isn't as nice as this one. There's Percy. Darn it. It's too dark to really get a good view of his undercarriage. Come on, stop. Darn it.
Overshot the list.
Percy soon made his last delivery.
destination.
The station master was very
Kind
pleased
of.
to see him. Percy, he cried, we need twice as much coal to last through this freeze. Don't worry, Percy said. This is my last stop. You can have mine. My lovely warm firebox will keep me nice and cosy. So Percy's driver parked him on a siding with only a lantern for company. Do you think Scary Jack Frost will find me? Said Percy.
Why would
Jack
he
Frost
want
is
to
not
look
scary,
for you?
chuckled his driver. And don't worry, Emily will bring you some more coal in the morning.
Emily had nothing to do with
And then
this
his
episode.
driver and fireman went home to bed.
In fact, I'm not even sure she was part of the cast when this episode
Late that
aired.
night, the icy wind howled.
On the show, that is.
It started to snow, and Percy's
It was
fire had
Elizabeth.
almost gone out.
A truck.
Soon Percy's face was so cold, an icicle hung from his nose.
And the rest of him.
Oh, bother, stuttered Percy. But it didn't sound like Percy. It was so cold, he could hardly make a sound. The next morning, Emily arrived with plenty of coal for Percy. Oh my, she said. It looks like Jack Frost really got you then. Soon Percy was loaded with fresh coal, and his fire was soon burning nicely.
But where's
It
the
wasn't
part where
long
James
before his ice
spooked?
mask melted away. So Scary Jack Frost is only frost, puffed Percy happily, and soon he was as warm as toast.
Next. James and the Van.
James and the Van. It was a frosty morning on the island of Sodor, and James was bringing a goods train from the Little Western. He was cold and tired, and wouldn't stop complaining.
Be fair, he does that
Why
anytime.
couldn't Duck or Oliver do this? He moaned.
They're not in the
Splendid
game.
engine like me should be pulling coaches, not these troublesome trucks. Don't worry, James, said his fireman. We've nearly reached the yard now, so you can have a drink and a rest before your next train. Good, James replied. A nice long rest will make me feel much better.
Hello there.
Soon they arrived back at the yard. James was still feeling rather upset, and as he stood in the yard, the icy wind swirled around his smokebox. "Bother this cold weather," he shivered. "Right," said his fireman. "I'll jump down and uncouple the trucks. Then we can go and fetch the coaches." He walked over to the coupling and tried to uncouple it. But try as he might, it would not budge.
What?
"What's going on back there?" asked James. "I'm going to be late for my passengers." "There seems to be a problem with the coupling," said his fireman at last. "It looks like we're going to have to take the van with us." "What?" exclaimed James. "Pull my train and this horrible van too? No, I won't. What would the other engines think if they found out?" "Great," grumbled the van. "Now I'm stuck behind you for the rest of the day." "Now come on," soothed his fireman. "We must remember the passengers. We can't leave them standing out in the cold." "Fine," groaned James. "The sooner we take these passengers, the sooner I can get to the works and get my coupling fixed."
That's the spirit, James. Wait a minute. Come on.
I really hate overshooting.
Hello, Tiger Moth the plane. Shockingly, I don't think he had any lines.
I'm not even sure if he was sapient in the show.
I think he was in 1 or 2 episodes and never spoke a word. Let his pilot speak for him, the lazy bum. Surprisingly, pulling coaches with cars wasn't that unprecedented in the... I think I did that all the time with my old Erdls. Something that's even the right brand.
James arrived at the platform, still cold and upset. As he watched the passengers begin to board the train, he was surprised to see that the passengers didn't take much notice of the van. That's good, he thought to himself. Maybe if the passengers don't notice, then maybe none of the other engines will.
Onward, James, onward! Apparently I can't scat, or fool me for making the attempt.
As James arrived at the station, he suddenly heard a familiar whistle. "Oh no," said James. "It's Gordon." "Hello, little James. What are you doing coupled to that van?" asked Gordon. "Oh, is that what passes as a special coach nowadays?" Gordon puffed away, still laughing. James tried to ignore him, and it wasn't long before the guard's whistle blew and they continued on their way.
James in the insecure tea kettle. Surprisingly bad lyrics. There's any long-term subscriber of mine, Ugh. I see my biggest concern with overshooting stations. That happens. Hey, that's why it's taking so long for him to slow down, but it's snowy. There's snow on the ground. It's a miracle in and of itself that he doesn't need a snowplow. No, wait, that's what's wrong. It's not deep enough to warrant a snowplow. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense. What do you think?
James soon arrived at Wellsworth Station. As the passengers began to board, he suddenly noticed the station master talking to someone with a large wooden box.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm sorry, but you can't bring this on the train, said the station master. There isn't enough space. You'll need to wait for the mail train later tonight. But I'm performing in an important concert, explained the passenger, and I must get myself and my piano there on time. James listened carefully, and suddenly an idea came to him.
I'll play for him.
Excuse me, he called, but you could try putting your piano into my van. I'm sure it would fit, and it would mean you could get to your concert on time. The passenger was delighted. That's a wonderful idea, James, said the passenger. What a clever engine you are. James felt rather pleased with himself. This piano is heavy, moaned the van. Why did we have to take it? Do stop your complaining, puffed James. All this fuss over one wooden box. The piano is loaded now, so it's almost time for us to get going, said James to the passenger. So the passenger hurried quickly to their carriage, and moments later the guard blew his whistle, and James knew it was time to leave.
It moves the plot along, on you. What's your name, anyway? I'm thinking Vinny the Van. Vincent the Van? First part of my Vinny the Best.
little thing next to which cab is called, but it looks like a boot to me. This one here. It always looked like a boot to me. So did this one.
Hooray! I got the right door button this time.
At the next station, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for James to arrive. He was surprised to see a goods van in front of his coaches. He was just about to ask him about it when the owner of the piano came over to see him. "This clever engine and his crew came to my rescue," he explained. "They helped me to transport my piano in time for my band's concert tonight. And James offered to help. You must be very proud of him."
On a good day.
"Indeed I am," smiled Sir Topham Hatt. "James, your quick thinking has helped a passenger in need, and you've once again proven yourself to be a really useful engine." "Thank you, sir," puffed James proudly.
But seriously, remove the...
"Hey, what about me?" cried the van. "I had to carry the piano." Sir Topham Hatt turned his attention to the van. "I hear you helped one of my passengers today," he said. "So I must thank you as well. You are a very useful van indeed, and you've even given me an idea. Perhaps we should consider adding vans to all our passenger trains in future." "I think that's a good idea, sir," said James. "Getting stuck to a goods van wasn't such a bad thing after all."
Egad!
The
This
van
is-
was pleased, but a little embarrassed.
This is very
He wasn't
strange.
used to getting praise like this, and was looking forward to his next passenger train.
And this just looks like a good stopping point. This has been Mr. Swinney with Thomas and Friends, Wonders of Sodor. Goodbye, and be good to each other.